Hey guys, Dylan here, back again with day 16 of the 31 days of Halloween. And as I said in the Arthas Menethil video, this is kind of the middle point. Yeah, this is like exactly the middle point. This is the middle video. And yeah, we're about wrapped up with this whole spiel. I mean, we only got, what, 15 days left? I mean, that's still like half, but we're approaching the end, and it's coming pretty quick. I've been making these videos for a few weeks now, in fact, and yeah, it's been a fun ride, but all good things must come to an end eventually, right? Probably should have waited until like day 25 to do this, but either way, my farewell speech aside, not leaving YouTube. It's just the end of 31 days. Don't cry, all two of you. But today we're taking a look at the NECA Toys Heroes of the Storm Stitches, and this is a deluxe figure in this line. Unfortunately, I can't bring you a review of the deluxe Diablo because they never released the frickin' thing. Damn it. Because that thing was amazing, and it sucks that they didn't make it, but I will still be doing a couple of Diablo figures, not Tyrael, because it doesn't really fit. Shout out to Figures of Action for hooking me up with that. But, I do have a couple of the older ones. We'll definitely be taking a look at those after this. Days, 17, 18? Just the scary looking ones, though, not that barbarian looking dude. But nonetheless, Stitches is an unholy looking SOB. He is very ugly looking. And he comes with a few things, starting off with his little hook here. Which, oh, that's tighter than I remember. You just want to be careful pulling this out. Comes with a little hook here, and it's keyed. It's keyed, so when you peg it into place, or you peg the bottom on, it'll actually go on the right way. You just gotta find that sweet spot. There. That's the sweet spot. And there's the hook. It's pretty gnarly. As I gouge someone's eyes out with it. And then he comes with this massive cleaver. Which also unpegs. And then pegs back together. Like so. And it's got some blood on it. Kind of cheesy looking blood, but it's there. The handle on this is also keyed. It's also hollow. So the weight won't make him lose his grip or make his arm sag. And the other thing, which I'm going to leave in his arm just because it's a pain in the butt to get in there, is his little hook chain. And it's got this giant hook on it. It's a very Lobo-esque looking hook. And then it's got the plastic chain links, and then it's got a little bit of a weight at the bottom. This piece feels like some soft, kind of pliable rubber. This is a big old hollow. It might not be as hollow as I think, but it's lightweight, so he won't, it won't drag his arms down, which his arms are fairly massive, but that don't mean shit nowadays. So articulation on this guy, this pretty looking fella, now that I've exposed his ungodly looking crotch, he's got really good movement in the head. It looks side to side, it looks up and down. His jaw will open, and he's got a tongue in there, and that's on a ball joint, but it can also extend out and do things. But I can't get it out, so we're just going to leave that as is. But he can look side to side. He can look up and down. He can even do the crazy exorcist thing to an extent, just to give him a bit of attitude. I mean, he's literally a dumbass in the game too. Heroes of the Storm, he's all, Stitches want to play. It's very amusing. His arms are going to go over the small arm first. It's on a hinge joint with a swivel, as well as a hinge at the elbow and a rotation at the elbow. Nothing in the actual wrist. His shoulders, his actual shoulders, we're going to go over the small arm first. You can move them out. And this is about as far as you're going to get out of this arm. Yeah, that's as far as you're going to get. You push it anymore, you're going to snap it clean off, so don't do that. But you get about that much out of this arm. It does rotate. It does feel a little looser now. It's very hard to grab this guy. He's got a swivel here, as well as a hinge, but it's very hindered, just due to the sculpt. But there is a hinge up in there. I kind of wish they put it at the actual elbow, as opposed to like a little bit down. I mean, the joint's well hidden, but it's not the most effective thing. But it does rotate and it does hinge there. And then his hand is also rotation, and it does hinge up and down a little bit. But getting this arm down, I'm going to actually do that behind camera. Uh-oh. Bear with me here. It's a pain in the butt. Don't get used to that. You're just lucky I got his arms to move in and out. This big arm over here, however, it does rotate. And it does hinge in and out, but I'm just going to bring it right behind camera for that. And his hook got me in the leg. Ooh. That one's a little bit easier. But it moves out about that far. Then you can move it back down, of course, which I'm going to do right now. There you go. And then his elbow rotates on this side, as well as hinges. It's got a big old hinge right there. And then his wrist also swivels, and it has a hinge as well, but it is fairly hindered going out. He has a diaphragm joint, but it's pretty much just a swivel. It'll rotate probably all the way around, but I'm not going to force it. That's about the only gripe I have with this figure, is the way his diaphragm moves, or his plays. He's got a bit of gappage back here on his back, which just took a second to gawk at that. Look at that, his spine's coming out. A big, warty, gross-looking ass. This thing is just gross. Now, I'm not sure if this is articulation or it just came unglued, but it feels kind of odd if it's glued. These teeth on mine, they come down. And it looks like it's painted up in there. So, I mean, it ain't a lot, but if that's supposed to move, that's pretty rad. Yeah, just they come down and they go back up. I mean, I have no idea if they're supposed to move or not, but that's pretty cool. His legs are pretty static. They got ball pegs in them, I believe. They can move in and out a little bit, but not a whole lot. This side, he's got a swivel in the knee as well as a hinge. So you can bend it literally all the way back. And then it's got a hinge in the foot here, which it leans a lot more forward than it does back. And then it's got a swivel there, but it's very hard to get to. Like, extremely hard to get to. You're gonna pretty much just wind up rotating the knee. Let me pull it behind camera and try to get it. Yeah, pretty stiff. So there you go. It does rotate. You just got to get a good grip on it. God, the freaking thing don't break. This feels like a pretty sturdy figure, but it's a NECA figure, so I take no chances. This leg, it's pretty much just a swivel. This leg, you could actually get a bit of in and out of it. This leg, nah, you're not getting squat out of that. And then his knee is pretty much just a double ball peg. There's no hinge here. So it's essentially just a swivel. And then the foot, I believe the foot has a double ball peg. I'm pretty sure it does. Let's see. Sorry for pulling behind camera a lot, but yeah, it's pretty much just a double ball peg throughout the whole leg. Because the foot does rotate, but it doesn't hinge up and down worth a damn. Now, if you wanted to see what that looked like, there it is. I mean, rotate his foot. That's all it is. And that's pretty much Stitches in a nutshell. He's a little bit hard to review just because of how massive he is, but he's an awesome figure. He is very grotesque, so probably not one for the ladies. But he is really freaking cool looking. I love this figure, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. As long as I can get his one foot to line up. There we go. There we go. I got it. I think. Yeah, I think I do. There we go. So giving him his weapons back. The giant cleaver is the easy one. You just unpeg that, and then you go. You slot that in there. You slot the other end in through the other side. Bit of a pain in the butt, though. Kind of like Arthas. It's keyed, so it goes in one way. It's one way only. Alright, how does this go on? It goes on like that. Come on. Get in there, sucker. There. So there's that. And then, I'm missing my review setup just because this dude is so massive. His hook, where did I put that? There it is. His hook, split that apart. I'm just going to do this where he is. You're just going to want to slowly rotate the hook into his hand until it's in all the way. At least enough for that peg to be sticking out. And don't worry, that's not the hook making that noise, that's his hand. It's made out of a softer material, so you can actually get it in there. And there you have it. Stitches, all assembled again. I guess it's not really assembled, but you know what I mean. So size comparisons, well, we still have some recording time left. He is next to Jack-o'-lantern, and yeah, he's freaking giant next to him. Do I even need to, like, stand him up properly? I mean, you can freaking tell he ain't got crap on him. He doesn't have crap on him. Like, he's literally dwarfed. He is dwarfed by this figure. And then just because we literally reviewed him yesterday, and his relevance is going to be eternal, here he is next to Arthas. Just to give you a comparison to another figure from the line. So he's not exactly the tallest thing. I mean, he's about the same as Arthas's little crown here. But he is very, very wide. So, Yeah, he's definitely a massive figure, and I think a lot of bang for your buck, especially mine, because I bought this thing on like 75% off at FYE, so he was like $12. A lot of people hate me for that, but you know what? Screw them. I don't get those deals very often, so I am one happy son of a bitch to own this guy. He is awesome. He is imposing. And he's just overall really freaking cool looking in a very grotesque kind of way. I mean, just look at that. Good God. Organs galore up in there. So, yeah, I mean, he's loaded with detail. And that's a cool thing. So, I believe he was like $40 when he first came out. He's probably a lot more expensive now. But if you're into Mythic Legions, I would recommend you get this guy and put like a leash on him or something. Put him with those, because he is definitely worth having. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's edition of the 31 Days of Halloween. Stay tuned, because tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at Diablo. I believe it's the Lord of Terror. The big freaking demon guy from Diablo 2. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later with day 17 of the 31 Days of Halloween. Ooh, scary. God damn it, this thing's ugly.